Tennessee. Never stop, never settle. Odds for tonight's fights are brought to you by Bet Online and by Masculine. It's a mentality. Don't be a man, be the man. This main event attraction is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission, the chair, Peter Villegas, executive officer, Andy Foster. The three judges scoring this contest at ringside are Garragais, Fernando Villarreal, and Zachary Young. And our referee in charge of the action at the sound of the bell, Thomas Taylor. And now, 2 diamonds, 1 ring tonight. Who will shine the brightest? San Diego! It's golden time! Introducing to you first tonight, fighting out of the blue corner, standing with trainer Jacob Nahar and Victor Medina. Tonight wearing the multicolored trunks, trimmed with black and gold. He officially weighed in 137 pounds. Here tonight, enters his main event attraction perfect. 26 bouts, 26 victories, 23 wins, coming to you by way of knockout and no defeats. Desde San Mateo, Atenco, Mexico, here is the undefeated William El Camarón Cepeda. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, standing with trainer and father Joseph Diaz Sr., assisted by Daryl Hudson and Miguel Sandoval. Tonight wearing black with red trim, he officially weighed in 137.6 pounds. This Southpaw Warrior steps into this stellar contest with an outstanding record. 35 bouts, 32 victories, 15 wins, coming to you by way of knockout. 2 defeats with 1 draw. Introducing to you the multi-time title holder and the former IBF Super Featherweight Champion of the World, the pride of South El Monte, California, Joseph Jojo Diaz Jr.
Right. Back up just a little bit. Gentlemen, corners. Cornermen, both trunks are a little high. They're going to stay high. So we're going to get to the top of the paint on both sides, all right? You got my instructions in the back. Protect yourselves at all times and listen to my commands. Touch them up. Back to corner, gentlemen.
William Zepeda with that icy death stare. Jojo Diaz, he's been this stage. He's caught the big names. Can he get back to the elite level, possibly with a win here over Zepeda? But for El Camarón, this is his moment, his coup de grace. If he beats Jojo Diaz, the world is his oyster. Here we go. Our main event starts right now.
You ready?
Jojo Diaz in the white gloves, Zepeda in the black.
2 aggressive, pressure, punching southpaws. Jojo Diaz has good timing, knows how to cut that distance. Zepeda is always in front of your face, always looking for the big shots. You're gonna have to fight a guy like Zepeda off. Get his respect.
You can already see Zepeda trying to dictate the pace of this fight, pushing Jojo Diaz back.
And you can see the size advantage on Zepeda as well. Taller, longer reach, stronger puncher.
Yeah, and Zepeda has a really good sweeping right hook. I know they're both lefties, so that's going to play a big role. But I really think that Jojo's going to watch out for that, because it's all about foot to foot right now, considering that they're lefty on lefty.
Todd Grisham, Sergio Mora, Chris Mannix, and Marlon Esparza here ringside. important is this first round, Sergio?
Well, it's very important because he's filling out the power of Zepeda. Jojo Diaz is. He came back and threw a hard three-punch combination. See how Zepeda was going to react to it. Zepeda barely moved back. So power's not going to be what's going to intimidate Zepeda. It's going to be the championship rounds, the distance, and body shots, just like that.
I don't think the power of Zepeda is going to bother Jojo Diaz. He's got a great chin. It's the punch-out, and we're seeing early on Zepeda, who averages 30 punches landed per round, is going to be the more active puncher. That's the adjustment that Jojo Diaz is going to have to make.
And he gets stronger. Zepeda gets stronger in the later rounds. I think you would serve Jojo some justice if he makes sure he just uses movement until he catches his timing.
Look, Jojo's not going to keep up with the intensity and the volume punching and the power of Zepeda, but what he can do is get the clean shots like that and then back away. Be the better boxer. Use that amateur pedigree that he had.
Yeah, he did say that he trained to slug it out with Zepeda, so we'll see if the game plan works out for him.
Yeah, Diaz says, I hope he comes there and stands in front of me and wants to exchange. That's the fight I want.
I don't think that's a smart fight for Jojo, especially in the first round. I mean, look, that's a big left hand that just missed by Zepeda. Filling out the power is great, but rolling with the shots and boxing behind the jab, fighting smart, that's the best strategy for Jojo Diaz right now.
I think I already see a whelp on the right side of Jojo's head.
Good flurry for Zepeda.
Listen for the bell, gentlemen. Right there. Listen, Jojo. Listen, Jojo. Keep the water. You have to let your go. Your timing's very good. And your following hands in. But you gotta make it actual a little bit more, okay? Let him reach for you. You understand what I'm telling you? Let him reach for you. You slide up, you get him, but you gotta go again. Don't let him step back and reset his leg.
You know what? If he's grabbing, he's moving forward, he's successful. When you make him go back, you don't know what the fuck to do.
That's when you gotta close him up right away. Don't sit back waiting.
Hey, ¿cómo te sientes? ¿Cómo lo sentiste?
No te puedes emocionar. No te
Don't
puedes
get too
emocionar
excited.
porque está cachando.
Don't get too excited because that's where he catches you. That overhand left, you don't allow him to land that. Intelligently.
So a good start for William Zepeda here in San Diego. Keep in mind, Zepeda has never been 12 rounds.
Zepeda averaging over 90 punches, almost 100 punches around. Jojo's not going to be able to keep up with that volume, but if he can intercept the punches in between the shots, then he can get some respect there.
Body shot, left hand to the body.
Jojo started off a little bit late with Devin Haney. He started off late with Gary Russell. He vowed that he wouldn't start off late here. The first round was all El Camarón. He needs to pick it up right here. Jojo, get a little bit of respect. Try backing up Zepeda.
Yeah, I think Jojo could be a slow starter. I think that's why moving till he catches his rhythm would be helpful for him in his game plan.
Sneaky good body shot there for Jojo. It was a very accurate body puncher.
Sergio, take us back to your first big fight where you had to step up against someone where people doubted you.
Well, listen, when you're undefeated, you feel like no one can beat you. So Jojo's already been beaten by elite fighters, champions, undefeated champions. So there's no knock off that. So right now, Jojo still feels like a winner. So he needs to feel like a winner, but he needs to actually start landing some punches on Zepeda, backing him up, get that winning feeling again. Feel like you got hurt. El Camarón.
Yeah, right now, Zepeda is just overwhelming Diaz.
He definitely needs to use his Olympic pedigree. He has a lot of options.
And I would like to see Jojo have more defense, more upper body movement. He catches everything with the gloves. Whenever you're dealing with a hard puncher, hitting gloves is going to take its toll as well.
Boy, Zepeda looks really good.
And really sharp. Every punch is hard. He turns all those knuckles in.
But again, is this just Jojo waiting for his moment, or is Zepeda forcing him on the back foot here? making it so he doesn't throw as many punches.
Look, there was an air of confidence, almost arrogance in Zepeda and the people around him. I'm not saying that negatively, but they really believe they were the superior fighter. They are sure that they're the more disciplined fighter, and they believe they have every advantage coming into this fight.
Yeah, Zepeda, we asked...
Nice counter left there from JoJo.
We asked Zepeda to elaborate on the discipline part. What did he mean by that? He says, well, I live a clean lifestyle outside the ring, and JoJo's had his difficulties outside the ring.
Yeah, Zepeda said he doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't party, doesn't go out. He just lives boxing.
Yeah, there were plenty of not so subtle digs at Jojo Diaz's lifestyle this week in some of our meetings.
Listen for the bell, gentlemen.
You can really see the ring generalship in his head right now.
Time right there.
Keep your guard tight. You're starting to cause swelling on him. How do you feel? How did you feel it? He can't make you go backwards. You're harder. You're better than he is, and you weigh more than he is. But keep touching him to the body. From the body to the head. From the body to the head. Careful. Watch out for his overhand left. That's the only punch that he's really throwing.
William Zepeda touching up JoJo this entire round. The volume, the leverage. That body shot landed on the hip, but it was that right hook upstairs that caught JoJo on the left side of the jaw. JoJo needs to start rolling with these shots.
Yeah, that was that sweeping right hook I was talking about that Zepeda throws really nicely. And it comes unexpectedly.
The message from Zepeda's corner, you're bigger, you're stronger, you're better.
Zepeda, the natural lightweight. JoJo coming up from 126 pounds.
Sergio, I think you're right that, you know, it would serve him some good to not just catch the punches, but use a lot more movement, head movement, body movement. JoJo.
One of the things about Zepeda,
Oh, nice right hand from Diaz.
good shot from Jojo Diaz. One of the things about Zepeda is that he's very diverse with his punch selection. He's not just targeting one area. He goes upstairs, downstairs very well.
And he keeps his range really well for a long, strong fighter.
Yeah, he's got an excellent reach for that this weight class, about 69 inches.
Yeah, he has a long reach, but he doesn't smother himself for being so aggressive. Look, right there, he's not smothering himself.
He is just taking it right to Diaz, who's backed against the ropes. What is he doing here, Sergio?
Look, there's nothing that Diaz can't do. There's no chance for him to catch and counter because Zepeda's so consistent with that power. He's not letting him breathe. This is what he does. Zepeda suffocates opponents with power and pressure. You can't give him a target like this. It's only going to encourage fighters like Zepeda. You got to move your upper body movement. Make him completely miss and fall off balance. But JoJo doesn't have that in his repertoire.
And it's difficult because Zepeda doesn't just throw. He has really good position. He knows where he's at and when's the right time to throw.
Now Jojo Diaz throwing back. He's got to up his output, though, surely. He told us, hey, I'll throw just as many punches as Cameron does. That has not been the case. Here's a good right. Now he's up in the output. Diaz with a good moment. Digging downstairs is Cameron, who's sitting down on these punches too. Uppercut from Diaz.
Very impressed so far with what I've seen from William Zepeda. Just a continuation of a lot of what we've seen over this past year.
Just relentless. I was impressed when I first saw him against Hector Tanahara, but it seems like he's only getting better and better. The endurance is really serious, man.
His trainer told us he's got 4 lungs.
That's right.
And it
It
could
sure
be
looks
like
that way.
said, confidence. He's confident.
It's non-stop punching. There's no breathing room. There's no way to counter if you're Jojo Diaz.
Time right there. At the bell.
Zapeta, ¿qué onda? Está largo el camino. Vamos bien. El que se tiene que... You understand? Yeah, stay beyond him instead. Let him throw and stay beyond him and then slide up and then get back to the end, to the right or the left. Don't sit there just catching those punches, you understand? He's not landing anything. He's not landing nothing, but I'm telling you, Joe.
And we're going to see Zapeta just not forgetting the body. He's hitting anything that Jojo's giving him. The body, both sides coming through the uppercuts, piercing through the guard of Jojo Diaz, going back downstairs to the body, not giving Jojo Diaz any type of room or maneuvering for counters.
Go, guys, gotta go.
And when Jojo does come back with a nice hook and body shot, it's Camarón coming right back with combinations.
Hey, Chewy, let's get this water, please.
And Zapeta picks up right where he left off. He's pushing the tempo. He's forcing the action.
And he's doing it behind technique, Todd. It's not like he's just a typical Mexican brawler. He's doing it with technique. He's doing it with leverage, still minding his defense.
With position, and he has a really nice jab, which I think is confusing Jojo a lot.
And here's the thing, Chris. As Jojo fights back. Here's the thing, Chris. You're watching Zapeta here, and there's some people like, well, he can't keep up this pace the whole fight. Yes, he can.
Well, I was just talking to Joel Diaz in Jojo Diaz's corner, and he said that's kind of the game plan right now, to let William Zapeta tire himself out and get to him as these rounds go on. It is a 12-round fight, which creates a little bit more wiggle room, but right now, William Zapeta looks like in phenomenal shape.
But
Waiting to the 6th, 7th, and 8th round, and you're down 6, 7, 8 rounds to none. That significantly decreases your chance of winning one way or the other.
Yeah, look at Diaz's face already. He's got a black eye and a slight cut under his left. There's a good right from Diaz. Needs more of that.
Catching everything. More boxing. Don't worry about hurting Zapeta right now. Just get that jab going. Get some points. Get some confidence.
I agree, Sergio.
Look, see all those shots right there being blocked, but they hurt. They're still hurting Diaz. They're still reddening the face. They're still going to pierce through.
I don't think all of them are getting blocks. He's landing a pretty good amount of them.
He should move his feet. He shouldn't just stand there for those. Just like that.
Zapeta not slowing down.
Drop the head, yeah. Let him go, Jojo. Straight back, guys. Listen for that bell.
There you go. Finally a catch and counter there by Jojo Diaz.
But I did like his movement in the last 30 seconds.
In this round.
All right, stop. No pause. Go.
And if the game plan was to wear out Zapeta, right now Zapeta's just throwing even more punches.
Jojo needs to win these rounds by moving and then landing, making him miss and then making him pay, not by trying to stand toe-to-toe.
And the thing about Zapeta is he has a long reach. That means he can block both sides of the rib cage. Jojo Diaz loves digging down on the rib cage, but because of that long reach, Camaron's able to block those shots.
Chris, how do you have it scored?
I got a 4 rounds to none in favor of William Zapeta. The output is just significantly different in this fight. William Zapeta is boxing beautifully. I checked in with Jacob Nahar in William Zapeta's corner just now. He said it's going exactly the way they want it to go. For every punch Jojo is landing, they are landing 6. He said they know that Jojo is the faster fighter here, but they're taking away that speed by touching the body.
What do you think of that, Marlon?
I think that Zapeta's actually, because of his positioning and how he knows what he's doing with his straight shots, that Jojo really needs to serve himself and move. And there's nothing more I can say about that. I don't think that that's a good strategy. I don't think he's wearing it down at all.
And Diaz finally showing some fire with those power punches, but Zapeta shakes it off.
I think Diaz is going to find more openings up top than downstairs. And that's not normally the case with Joseph Diaz. He loves digging down to the rib cage. But I think when it comes to Zapeta blocking those shots and then coming back with 4, 5, 6 punch combinations to the head, it can be very difficult to pierce that guard.
With Zapeta's length, it would serve Joe to use some angles. try to get around that reach.
Well, right now, Zepeda does indeed look like the real deal.
Zepeda's definitely the real deal. And he's doing it against a very formidable former champion in Jojo Diaz.
Yeah, and I talked about the fatigue that Jojo Diaz's corner is hoping will set in with William Peda's corner. Said they see fatigue in Jojo. They see a fighter fighting right now with his mouth open.
And I know it's still relatively early in this fight. Don't want to jump to too many conclusions, but Chris, Zepeda's beating up Diaz Jr. worse than Devin Haney did.
Oh, they're very different types of fighters. Devin Haney a little bit more tactical. William Zepeda, just a complete offensive machine.
That was better. See, Alex, you got to get your combinations going a little bit better, right? Listen, he's already getting tired. He's feeling the body work. He's starting to bounce around in front of you. Yeah. So you bounce around in front of you, you got to close him because he's not ready for you. You land those punches, Joseph. Listen, you land those punches, you got to come out at an angle. Don't come straight back. And then go right back to him.
You need to make him go back. Make him walk back. Okay. Hey, catch him to the body a little more. Hey, you can slow him down with the body work. That was good. That was good. He got good defense. But when he's landing the shots and he's low, counter his ass. Stop him in the middle.
Repites a la doble, los ganchos. Y él no te puede empujar para atrás a ti, campeón.
He can't
Aquí el
push
que
you
empuja
back.
para atrás eres tú.
Champion, you're the one who pushes him backwards. He can't push you back.
Jojo, number 6. Stay right there for me. Stay right there for me. Go.
Angles will be key for JoJo. And Sergio, you're right. Holding his guard up like that isn't doing him justice.
It just gives an easy target for Zepeda to hit something and get confidence. As long as you're landing punches on your opponent, it's like hitting a heavy bag. And you gotta remember, Zepeda is a converted southpaw, so that right hand is his main hand. He's a natural right-hander.
Sergio, how does someone like Zepeda... Oh, big right hand for Diaz! Best punch of the fight! Zepeda went straight back, and now he's back in the fire again.
And that buckles Zepeda, and you could see that Jojo's just trying to time him with that shot, but it's too far in between.
Remember, it was 2 fights ago that William Zepeda was knocked down. It was more of a flash dog knockdown down in Mexico, but that shin is vulnerable.
That could be a big momentum swing if Diaz can add to it.
Sergio, if you were JoJo, what do you think he could do right now to kind of start winning rounds?
Well, I would try backing up Zepeda. Normally, aggressive power punchers don't like getting backed up. So right there in the clinch, back him up, walk him backwards. Then when the referee clinches, you pop that jab in his face. Just like he's trying to do right there, JoJo. He's holding his ground, trying to back up Zepeda. So a little bit more of that, but behind the jabs.
Well, Diaz had his moment in this 6th round. He needs another one.
Yeah, this is a decent round for JoJo.
Yeah, he kind of let that opportunity go by, Sergio.
He did.
Buckled Zepeda there. Zepeda was wobbly, and Diaz didn't pursue.
Because he's giving him he's giving Zepeda a target to hit, but if he makes Zepeda miss, that's going to be a different story. And it's going to look better for you with the judges and give you more confidence.
Diaz has never been stopped.
Diaz is looking to exchange right hooks with Zepeda. His is a little bit shorter. That's where the long reach comes into a disadvantage if you're exchanging hooks with a smaller fighter.
JoJo is doing better though. Maybe it does have to do with him starting late. He's definitely fighting like a buzzsaw, but he's starting to catch a bit of a rhythm.
And you can see JoJo's just looking for that right hook. He's taking 3-4 punches to the glove just to land that right hook.
Zepeda still going to outland and outthrow Diaz in this round, but Diaz has landed a couple of big bombs.
I think angles would really work. What do you think?
The body shot there by JoJo.
Another right hand from Diaz.
It's the first round for JoJo Diaz.
working to the body. And he changed it. He changed it.
And there's that catch and shoot. Both landed a big punch, but it was the right hook, the well-timed right hook by Jojo Diaz that buckled the knees of William Zepeda. Zepeda barely missed under the chin of Jojo. Jojo catches it right to the left side of the jaw. Clean shot by Jojo Diaz.
No, the cut down here on him is by a punch. The one on the outside is by an accidental head punch. Just so you know. Okay.
Let's go, Joe.
Things are heating up in San Diego. Round 7 scheduled for 12. Diaz coming off his best round of the fight.
Yeah, I think Jojo is catching his rhythm. And maybe this is his plan. And they're sticking to it.
Well, if this is his plan, this is the second half of the fight. I'm pretty sure Zepeda already threw well over 500 punches. This is the time to put the gas if you're Jojo Diaz and try to start winning some rounds.
Well, he won the 6th, in my opinion.
Let's send it to Chris Mannix, who's with Jojo Diaz Sr.
Joseph, what are you seeing out there?
Well, I'm seeing that the guy's throwing a lot of punches. Joe's defense is good, but the guy's punching in volume. Joseph is being actually accurate with his punches. I can see him land a little more punches, throw a little more combinations. But the right hook, he's been having success with the last round. Want to throw a right hook and then follow with a left uppercut to the body.
He is throwing a lot of punches out there. What's the adjustments you need to make?
The adjustment is just to keep picking to his body, and punch when he's throwing, and punch after he's throwing, and in between.
Thank you.
Punch when he's throwing, after he's throwing, and in between. That's a lot of punches to throw.
No, I see what Senior's saying right there. Whenever you're dealing with a high volume puncher that doesn't give you a chance to actually counter, you got to punch with him, punch in between the shots. It's dangerous, but that's what it takes to actually beat down a fighter that throws so many punches.
Well, it's a dangerous game, and Jojo Diaz has been in this game for a long time, 29 years old, 35 professional fights, former world champion. Zepeda, 26 years old. This is his biggest fight ever by far.
Nice body shot by Jojo.
Excellent body shot by Jojo Diaz.
Zepeda, watch ahead.
I think they really just want Jojo to be first and last.
I want to see more left uppercuts from Jojo Diaz. Not only to the chin, but to the body as well. I think Zepeda already caught on to that right hook. There you go, there's that left uppercut. It's a dangerous punch, but like you said, it's a dangerous game, and if you're gonna win this fight, you gotta take some chances. See, Jojo's doing a good job backing up Zepeda here.
Finally, he told us that was gonna be his game plan. He was gonna be the man that was backing Zepeda up, but it's taken to the 7th round for him to start doing it.
Good uppercut by Zepeda.
Listen for that bell, gentlemen. Time right there.
He's boxing right in front of you, and they're not taking advantage of it. They're sitting back and watching. You gotta just go forward and keep going forward. You understand?
Keep using that fucking right hook. It's working for you. That right hook is very effective, Jojo.
And you've landed it, but you gotta follow with the left hand.
Right hook, left uppercut.
And then left hand.
Right uppercut.
The left hand of the body, Joe. Come on, let's go. Keep working. You gotta stay busy, Joe. Mouthpiece.
Hey, Jojo, you got 4 more rounds, baby. Let's go.
Gotta love the fighting spirit in that corner of Jojo Diaz. I mean, they're pushing their man to go through fire, and he's gonna have to go through fire in order to succeed in this fight.
He's running out of rounds, isn't he, Marlon?
He is, but honestly, see, I think he won the 6th and 7th. So if he keeps winning these rounds, it's going to be a hard task, but it's not impossible right now.
He may need to win them all. Round 8 scheduled for 12. But Zepeda's never been in a 12-round fight. So the championship rounds could be the moment for Diaz Jr.
And I see a little caution on Zepeda's punches now. He's not unleashing the power like he was. He's throwing the jab a little slower, the punches a little slower now. This is Jojo's opportunity. I see a little less power in those shots of Zepeda. See, those are arm punches now by Zepeda. This is an opportunity for Jojo.
Nice straight left by Jojo.
Boy, he's still coming though, isn't he?
Yeah, but not as much power as before. Not enough pop.
Yeah, I think that's why Jojo is being able to select his punches and landing the harder shots right now.
Uppercuts. The uppercuts there for Jojo Diaz. It's a very dangerous punch, but if he can land it, he's going to change his fight around. There's an opening there for the uppercut.
There's an opening, Sergio, but even without as much mustard behind these punches as we saw in the first couple of rounds, you're still seeing 4, 5, 6 punch combinations come out of Williams.
I get it, Chris, but look, he's pushing the punches now. Zepeda's pushing the punches. His mouth is open. He's breathing heavier. There's fatigue that's setting in, and rightfully so. 8 rounds in, he's probably throwing 800 punches.
Yeah, and Diaz has a lot more snap on his punches.
He's just not throwing enough of them. Like Chris said, if you get outlanded 30-10, it's hard to win the round.
Good body shot on the inside there by Jojo Diaz.
Another cut on Jojo, and as he eats an uppercut from Zepeda.
3 cuts on Jojo's face, and it still hasn't become a factor. Hasn't hindered this fight whatsoever.
I really want some uppercuts and angles from Jojo right now.
Chopping left hand there by
Let him go, guys.
Camarón.
All right, stop. No punch.
I mean, those shots right there, if he catches him behind the ear, it could be trouble.
Listen for the bell, gentlemen.
That we won. Don't waste it if we have it in the bag already. Nobody has done to him what you have done with him. Make it indisputable. Don't get overconfident, but keep working.
And if you're just joining us in our first fight on the main card, Hector Valdez Jr. beat Max Ornelius in one of the worst decisions I've ever sat ringside for. So even though Zepeda may think he's up by 6 rounds, you never know.
No, you never know. And Jojo has won a couple of rounds. So, you know, he is somewhat in this fight with, 2 rounds, maybe 3 rounds. If he can pull off 2 more rounds, it can get scary on the scorecard.
I still think he's doing really good this round as well. I can see where Zepeda is dying out a little bit, but he's still a buzzsaw.
But I love the respect that the corners show Jojo Diaz. Devin Haney's corner, even though he was in their fight, even though he was winning and controlling the fight, they were still urging him not to lift his head up and to always be careful. They're doing the exact same thing as Zepeda's corner. You won so many rounds, be careful.
That's the punch Jojo Diaz is looking for. Just right there a couple of seconds ago, that check right hook that he tried to land on Zepeda. It did land, but not as impactful as he has some of his previous ones. But Sergio, to your earlier point, he does have to throw it while taking 2 or 3 punches.
Zepeda looking fantastic.
I mean, these are still 6, 7, sometimes 8 punch combinations we're seeing from William Zepeda. Jojo is landing some good shots, some clean shots, but as soon as he does, Zepeda counters with a flurry of his own.
I think right now Jojo's landing the more effective shots.
I mean, it's hard to win rounds, like Chris says, when you're getting outlanded 4-1. I don't care how hard your punches are.
It's like
I mean, look at this.
It's like an uphill battle, you know. You land good shots, but whenever you're dealing with a fighter like Zepeda, I mean, it's very difficult to ever get some momentum. He's throwing 4, 5, 6 punch combinations.
It reminds me a little bit of Bivol versus Canelo towards the end rounds. I mean, Bivol was throwing those combinations, and Canelo just couldn't get out of the way of them. There's a counter right for Diaz.
Same situation. He threw while Zepeda was throwing.
This has been a very clean fight, though. I don't recall Thomas Taylor having to separate him at all. Good straight right from Zepeda, El Camarón.
Yeah, these are two high-class, solid professional fighters.
And if you're Zepeda, you want to go back down headhunting over these last couple of rounds. There's a little bit, but a little bit too.
What's it for the bell, gentlemen?
Flurries. Chris, who'd you give that round to?
I think Zepeda's just out-throwing JoJo.
I see what you're seeing, Marlon. I mean, the effective shots, but yeah, volume.
Every time he steps forward, you catch him with a right hook.
Joe, if you stay down low, if you stay down low like that, keep a little squat, Joe, he's not going to be able to push you back with those little jabs. You understand? Yeah. Listen, when he's trying to retreat right or left, you got to cut him, but don't cut him and stay in front of him. Cut and close him, but you got to, when you're closing, you're going. You understand what I'm saying?
Solid jab, 1-2. Of course, that right hook coming across. I mean, nothing landing cleanly, but that's all Jojo Diaz is waiting for, just to sweep up with a right hook. If he can land that on the tip of the chin, he can change the pace of this fight, but it's just taking too much punches, too much punishment.
JoJo, number 10, right here.
All right, Chris Mannix, let's look at your scorecard as we enter the 10th round.
Yeah, it has been all William Zepeda up until this point, 89-82 in favor of Zepeda. I do think Jojo Diaz has had some moments, and when he does sit down those punches and throw that right hook in between Zepeda's punches, he's landing it. But if you just look at the raw numbers, Zepeda is just throwing far more and landing far more than Jojo Diaz. I think he's making it pretty easy for the judges at this point.
I think Jojo won some of those middle rounds, at least 2 or 3. But yeah, the volume, it's hard to argue against that.
I agree, but I can see the flurries now coming back. I think Zepeda got a second win.
There's a counter right from Jojo. But again, we're almost a minute into this round, and Zepeda's probably up by 12 or 13 landed punches.
Yeah, now Zepeda's not even just landing, he's also moving and even walking Jojo.
Well, Chris, off of this performance so far from Zepeda, how do you do against these top 5 guys in his division, you think?
Look, he's clearly establishing himself right now as a contender at 135. And we'll see next year what happens if he's able to finish this fight, which is not over. Jojo Diaz, very experienced in these championship rounds. But if he's able to finish, there's no reason we shouldn't see Zepeda in with a top guy.
Yeah, Zepeda's the real deal.
Zepeda, watch the head.
Probably like to see a little bit more urgency from Jojo.
Well, I think it's fatigue from the arms. I mean, all those punches that... Just when I say that, Diaz comes back with a combination. Just the courage on Joseph Diaz is amazing, man.
And now Zepeda. But that was Jojo Diaz at his finest. He needs more of that. He should be pushing Zepeda forward.
him go, Jojo. Hey, stop. No punch.
I really expected JoJo to be flirting like he just did earlier the entire fight, from what they said that they did in camp and what they practiced.
Time right there.
No punches, baby. No punches and stay low. When he steps in, he's too tall. You gotta get in his chest.
Got 2 more to go, okay? 2 more to go, Joe. Listen, Joe, he's tired. He's tired, and listen, he's tired, Joseph. He's just as tired, right? Tired. That's why you gotta close him up and you gotta work. When you're working, he's trying to defend, okay? When he decides to work, you just close him. But listen, you gotta pick up that pace to him. You're walking to him, he knows that pace that you're going to him. Get your legs to him faster. You hear what I'm telling you? Now you gotta start getting your legs to him faster because he's used to that pace of you closing it at that pace. You understand? Close him faster than that. You hear what I'm telling you? Close him faster and go. You gotta go, all right?
Come on, Jojo. Hey, pick up the pace. Go. All right, let's go. Let's go.
Other hand.
Absolutely the right advice the last couple of rounds from Joseph Diaz Sr. and before that, Joel Diaz. Throw that right hook, put pressure on, let your hands go. It's just exceedingly difficult to do that when you're under a constant barrage like Jojo Diaz is from William Zepeda.
William Zepeda in an 11th round for the first time in his career. These are the championship rounds where Diaz typically shines.
Yeah, but now it's now or never, so he needs just to let his hands go.
Sergio, do you think Jojo knows or thinks he needs a knockout?
I think he knows he's behind. I could see the body language. But, you know, he's been competitive, even though I think, you know, we know who's winning this fight. Zepeda is winning the rounds, but it's a competitive fight. So Jojo still has that in him. He still has that dog in him. It just takes one punch for him to change this around, and he's still looking for it.
William Zepeda is a lightweight, kind of fights like a bantamweight.
That right hook almost landed cleanly by Jojo Diaz.
There's a right hook from Zepeda.
I know they told Jojo that Zepeda's tired, which I'm sure he is, but I really do believe he caught a second win. Now he's even moving, dipping, stepping back.
Yeah, there's just too many lulls from Diaz Jr. Like this.
Yes.
You can bet every lightweight out there watching, you know, there's going to be a new lightweight coming into the Five Kings in this division because this guy's not going anywhere. William Zepeda is only getting better and better.
You think they'd throw Ryan Garcia in there against this guy, Chris?
Well, look, I'll tell you who I think they would throw in there, Isaac Cruz. I would love to see two trains colliding.
I refuse to talk about anything involving Ryan Garcia unless it's Tank Davis.
Agreed.
I'm with you on that one.
Well, you guys might have to be quiet for a few years.
And look at that, look at, now you have Zepeda boxing on the back foot. He knows that he can't take out Jojo. Jojo, he's not going anywhere. A little bit of boxing, fighting behind the jab, knowing that he's in control of the fight. He has the rounds in the bag. Smart fighter, Zepeda. He's not just all, you know, blood and guts and brawler. He's a smart fighter. Good fight IQ.
Stop, no punch. Straight back. Listen for that bell, gentlemen.
All right, here's where Diaz is trying to win the round. Just a couple seconds left. Go hard.
Time right there.
You gotta go get it. That's wrong, baby. Go. Fuck it up.
Joseph, last round, you got to use the ground, but you can't be just throwing one shot.
Last round, gentlemen, we're going to touch gloves when the bell rings.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm telling you?
Yeah. Jojo, let him go in combination, baby. Fucking really close fight. Let's go. Really fucking close fight.
Combination, Jojo.
Kid, no, you got one more fucking round.
Hacerlo todavía y tiene la fuerza de hacerlo, ¿ok? Él tiene experiencia, es un ex campeón del mundo.
He has experience, former world champion, Olympian. He has the ability to try to finish it. So make sure your chin is in and do your thing. Breathe. Hey, let's go have dinner. Let's go have
San
dinner.
Diego, California. This is the 12th and final round.
All right, will we have some late drama here? Jojo Diaz may need it as Zepeda has looked sensational here tonight.
Smart words from the corner of William Zepeda. They know just how dangerous Jojo Diaz is. They know just what level of fighter that he is. You can't go out there and make a mistake in this 12th round.
Yeah, I caught that too, Chris. They basically let him know that this is an Olympian, this is a former champion you're working with. Do not get lazy. Don't give him an opportunity. Keep that chin tucked in.
And they still know JoJo's dangerous, and they still respect it.
And now Jojo taking the fight to Zepeda here in the last round.
Incredible heart by Jojo Diaz. I mean, the courage.
Well, whatever he's got in the tank needs to come out now. Zepeda apparently still has plenty of gas. Big deep breath from Jojo.
Jojo, you can't afford to take a step back. You land that three-punch combination, you got to step back in and throw three more. Minute and a half left to go in a fight like this.
Nice work from Zepeda. Minute and a half left. A world-class performance by William Zepeda.
World-class heart shown by Jojo Diaz. But yeah, we know that William Zepeda is a real deal, man. I mean, he pretty much dominated a competitive fight with Jojo Diaz, but it wasn't easy. It was not easy.
And it may not be over. Diaz still appears to have some strength left.
Yeah, Zepeda made a brilliant fight.
Look at him go again. William Zepeda and Cameron. He said, I have to leave no doubt. I can't let this be close. We don't think it's close. But what do the judges think?
Statement performance tonight from William Zepeda.
Straight back, let's go.
Definitely. I think he did his job and did what he set out to do.
Perhaps a new star born in the lightweight division. William and Cameron Zepeda.
Jojo Diaz is 16-0 against Mexican fighters with Mexican styles. He might be 16-1 after this decision is read.
Marlon, how impressed were you by Zepeda?
I was extremely impressed. I mean, I've seen him. I know he was strong, but with someone as talented as JoJo, I'm still in shock.
So Jojo Diaz showing plenty of heart and courage, especially there in the last round. But what's your biggest takeaway from his performance?
Look, first time William Zepeda has gone 12 rounds, and he looked excellent in this fight. Just continue to throw punches. What we saw against Hector Tanajara, what we saw in that last fight against Rene Alvarado, it carried over at an even higher level against Jojo Diaz. Really, as I said, a statement performance by William Zepeda.
Well, He may not literally have 4 lungs like his trainer says, but the outputs and the distance of time that he's still able to throw that many punches, I mean, that's almost Chocolatito El Gallo stratosphere.
But like I said, he fights like a bantamweight at this point. He throws a lot of punches like you see some of those lighter fighters do.
But, Chris, they're not just little pity-patter punches. This isn't Sergio Mora we're talking about here. This guy brings the heat.
Low blow, Todd. Low blow.
After Mark is done at 12 rounds of police.
Hell of a fight, guys. All right, we're back as we jump into the replays, and boy, I tell you what, we're going to see a lot of William Zepeda highlights.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of combination punching by Zepeda and right hooks. I mean, when Diaz did land, it was far in between, but when he did land, it was clean punches. So he made it competitive, but it was a one-sided competitive fight, and it's just really difficult to keep up with the volume, the sheer aggression, the combinations. There's just no stop in William Zepeda, and still minding his defense, always ducking and dipping and rolling and coming back with 5, 6, 7 shots. Very, very impressive performance by Camarón.
The scorecards are in. Let's see what the judges had to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, here from Pechanga Arena in San Diego, California. Put your hands together for both of these warriors here in the ring. And now we go to the judges' scorecards. Here are the totals. Judge Carla Caiz scores this contest 119-109. Judge Zachary Young scores this contest 119-109. And Judge Fernando Villarreal has the bout 118-110 to the winner by unanimous decision. And still undefeated desde San Mateo, Anteco, Mexico, William El Camarón Zepeda.
Well, he told us he doesn't ever party, but tonight he might want